Hello, everybody. Welcome to Game 3 of the 1977 Strat Series. The scene has now shifted after a travel day to the West Coast as the Dodgers will be the hosts for Games 3, 4, and 5. These are all going to be day games. So weather effects, singles are just a 1 here at Dodger Stadium, so definitely doesn't help the hitter at all. Home runs are 1 to 10 for both lefties and righties, so they're both equivalent. Starting pitchers for today's game. Tommy John, the lefty, will be on the mound for the Dodgers. And Doyle Alexander, the right-hander, is going to take the mound for the Texas Rangers as Game 3 is almost set to start. Let's go ahead and get everything in view to make sure I've got everything in view where it needs to be. Bring up the score sheet and we'll go through the lineups very quickly. And Texas is taking a chance on one of their lineups, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Leading off with Bert Campaneris at short, hitting second is Bump Wills at second. Mike Hargrove's batting third, playing first base. Batting cleanup is Toby Harrah at third. Now here's where the risk comes in. Willie Horton. Willie Horton is playing left field and batting fifth, but he is a 5 E18 with a +3 arm, but they want his bat in there against the lefty Tommy John, so they're going to take the chance and pitch him or put him in left field. Now, if they get the lead, or if he starts committing too many errors, then we'll substitute him with somebody else. But right now, they're going to take that chance. Dave May is in right field. Jim Sundberg's the catcher. Juan Beniquez in center, and Doyle Alexander on the mound for the Rangers. Now, for the Dodgers, lineup is pretty status quo. Davey Lopes at second, Bill Russell at short, Reggie Smith in right, Ron Cey at third, Steve Garvey at first, Dusty Baker in left, Rick Monday in center, Steve Yeager catching, the offerings of Tommy John. Okay, there you can see Game 3, series tied at 1. This is a day game. Singles are 1s and home runs 1 to 10. Both lefties and righties, so no advantage being a lefty or a righty as far as a hitter goes the way it was in Texas, where the lefties had the advantage. All right, let's see if I can get everything into view and see everything on the score sheet. I think we can just about. I think that's going to be pretty good as far as being able to view everything. Looks like from what I'm seeing, it's all going through pretty good. Hopefully it will. So since it looks okay to me, I can now sit down and get this game started. All right, so finishing up those warm-up tosses here at Dodger Stadium, it is Tommy John. Leading things off for the Rangers will be Bert Campaneris. And unless one of these teams sweeps all 3 games, the series is guaranteed to go back to Texas for at least Game 6. Not sure about Game 7, but at least a Game 6 unless one team wins all 3 here in LA. And all 3 of these, again, are day games. So we'll have to see how that affects the weather and so forth. And like I said, this might be just a 1-game experiment with Willie Horton, because if it gets to be too troublesome, then we'll just have to take him out and put somebody else in there, maybe Bavacqua or Tom Grieve or somebody like that, when they face a lefty. Now, Game 4, Don Sutton will be pitching, so Horton won't be an issue. They will have Claudel Washington in there. But for this game against Tommy John, they really wanted as many right-handed bats as they could get. The only 2 left-handers are May and Hargrove. Everybody else is either a switch hitter or a left-handed hitter. Okay, enough preamble on that. Let's get this thing started. Game 3, series tied at a game apiece. Bert Campaneris against Tommy John. That's a 2-4, and a 2-4 on Bert Campaneris. He had a lot of hits in column 1, but 2-4 is a ground ball to first. Steve Garvey will just step on the bag, 1 away. And that brings up Bump Wills. And the way I've been playing Texas with their lineup, if a lefty starts, I lead off Campaneris and bat Wills second. If a righty starts, I lead off Wills and bat Campaneris second. So just kind of flip-flopping them there. They're kind of interchangeable. So here's Bump Wills, switch hitter batting right-handed. It's a 1-7. He's going to fly to center. Rick Monday has it there. And the inning is down to 2 outs now for Mike Hargrove, lefty on lefty. 1-6, and that's a 1-18 single. Anything else, somehow or another, Lopes will stab it. It's going to drop in for a base hit. So a 2-out single for Hargrove. Tommy John's a -1 hold. Yeager's a -3 arm. It's a total of -4. So Hargrove's not even going to think about it. He will. Let's see. Will he be held? He won't even be held, actually. So here's Toby Harrah. Nothing on the 20. 2-9 for Harrah, and he's going to fly to right. Reggie Smith puts it away. And the Rangers are gone here in the first. So we go to the bottom of the first. Texas nothing, and the Dodgers coming to bat. Doyle Alexander steps in onto the rubber, finishing up those warm-up tosses, and Davey Lopes will lead things off for the men in blue as Tommy Lasorda is glad to be back in the California sunshine. Got his bowl of linguine, and he's all set. And a bottle of something. I don't know what it is over there, but he's got something. It's not water. 5-10. 5-10 is a ground ball shortstop X. That is Campaneris. Campaneris is a 2 E29. 218, he'll get to that, but that's an 18. That's trouble. When you get triple sixes on the defensive check, that's almost guaranteed an error and probably a two-base error. So E29 for Campaneris as a shortstop. And as I suspected, 18, it's a two-base error. So it's a two-base error, and that's going to let Lopes go all the way to second base. So not a good start for the Rangers. And Doyle Alexander kind of shaking his head there. Lopes will be held at second base. Here's Bill Russell. He is an A bunter, so he's going to be looking to bunt and get Lopes over to third. Becomes a B bunter, and that's a 12. That could be trouble as a bunter. A 12 on a B bunter. 12 on a B bunter is a 1 and 2, which means it's 1 ball, 2 strike count. They're going to keep the bunt on with Russell. Let him try it again. We get a 7. That should be okay this time. And on a 7, it's a good sacrifice. White die is a 4, which means it is the first baseman, Hargrove. So he will just tag out Russell going down the first base line for an unassisted putout. And Lopes will take third base. So Lopes is at third, and the way the scoring has been going lately, the Rangers are going to play the infield in. They don't against Tommy John. They know how tough Tommy John is. So they may not score a lot of runs against him. So they're going to play the infield in. And Reggie Smith, the batter. Nothing on the 20. 1-8 for Reggie Smith. That's a single to right. I'm sorry, 1-8's a walk. I was looking at 2-8. My bad. 1-8 is a walk. So that's going to put runners at the corners. Now they could possibly look for a double play. And Ron Say is a decent double play candidate. He's got quite a few ground ball shortstop A's on his card. So the infield now has shifted to double play depth. Reggie Smith will be held at first, but will not go anywhere. Nothing on the 20. Here's Say. 3-10 for Say, and that's a ground ball shortstop A, just what the doctor ordered. There's a clutch here, but there's only one out. If had there been 2 outs, that would have been a base hit. But ground ball shortstop A will stick. 6-4-3, and Doyle Alexander pitches around the error by Campaneris. And after 1 complete, we are scoreless here at Chavez Ravine, home of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Tommy John thought he was going to get some run support, but did not. Here's Willie Horton, and he survived the first inning with no problems in the field. Let's see what he does at the bat. He's got a very good column 1 against lefties. We'll see. He found column 2, though. 2 9's a strikeout. So Willie Horton fails on that one. Here's Dave May, who has a horrible against lefties. He can walk some in column 3, but he's in there for his defense, as opposed to some of the other people like Claudel and some others that could be in there. So 5-5, we're actually off Tommy John. That's a 1-3 for a single. Anything else, he lines it right to Lopes. And that's a 10, so Lopes will field it. 2 down. And that brings up Jim Sundberg. 4-7 for Sundberg. Struck him out. So Tommy John with the whiff. And after we go to the bottom of the second with no score, it will be Steve Garvey, Dusty Baker, and Rick Monday due up here in the bottom of the second against Mr. Doyle Alexander. 4-10. 4-10 is a catcher X. Sundberg is a 1, so we kind of know that he's not going to have any problem as far as that goes. 1 and a 16 for a catcher is a foul out. And that's a 13. He is an E2. E2, you have to have a 17 or 18 or a 3 to have an error, so it's just going to be a foul out. No problema. One away, and here's Dusty Baker. 3-8 for Baker, and that's a single. One out single for Dusty. There's a clutch there, but of course we're not in a clutch situation, so no problems. Baker will be held. Here's Rick Monday. Nothing on that. 1-7, and that's a fly to center. 2 down. And that'll bring up Steve Yeager. Nothing on the 20. 1-2 for Yeager. That's a fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. As Willie Horton was able to make that catch with no problems. They're just trying to avoid the left field X results. That's the one that's going to get them into trouble. And noticing on Doyle Alexander's card, he does not have a left field X chance on his card. Oh, I'm sorry, he has one. 5-3. 5-3 is the only one that's going to 5-3 is the only one that's going to cause Willie Horton problems. 5-3 versus lefties and righties. If you roll a 5-3, he's going to be in trouble. And the X chances, as we know, are only on the pitcher cards. So playing Horton in left may not hurt him too badly, because on his card, 5-3 is the only one that leads to that check of Horton. So it's a gamble, but maybe it's not as big as a gamble as I thought. All right, so Tommy John back out. We'll be facing bottom of the order, Beniquez, Alexander, and then Campaneris. 2-7, 1-5 is a single. Anything else he grounds to Ron Say. And it's a grounder to Ron Say, one away. That'll bring up the pitcher, and Doyle Alexander will be using pitcher hitting card number 1. But we're off the pitcher card, 6-7. 1-19 is going to be a single. How about that? Doyle Alexander is going to get a single off of the pitcher card, unless we roll a 20. That's the only thing that can avoid that, is if this D20 is a 20. Otherwise, it's a single. And it's a 20. Wouldn't you know that? Boy, talk about counting your chickens before they hatch. It's actually going to be a 20, and Ron Say will get it. So maybe that's just justice right there, because Doyle Alexander getting a cheap hit off a pitcher card was not what I was looking forward to. Here's Bert Campaneris. 4-7. Struck him out. And Tommy John, 3 innings in the books with no issues whatsoever. And we go to the bottom of the third. And Tommy John will lead things off. He's hitting pitcher card number 2. So not much better than Doyle Alexander. 1-11, and he's going to ground it to the pitcher. So Alexander fields it, one away. He's retired, and that brings up top of the order Davey Lopes. He reached on that 2-base error by Campaneris, but was stranded at third. 1-9, and he's going to ground to second. Bump Wills will take it, put it away, throw it over to Hargrove to end the for the second out, rather. And now that brings up Bill Russell. 4-9, ground ball to third. That'll be handled by Hara. So 3 ground balls, easy inning for Doyle Alexander. We go to the 4th, no score, here at Dodger Stadium. Ballpark's effects have not come into play just yet, but if they do, that might also hinder the offense. We shall see. Here's Bump Wills. 1-3 for Wills. He's going to foul it out to Ron Say. One away. For Mike Hargrove, lefty on lefty. 2-6 for Hargrove. He doesn't care if it's lefty on lefty. 2-6 is a 1-5 double. 6-20 is a single. And that's a base hit for Hargrove. He's 2 for 2. He's gotten the only hits in the game. Both Texas hits have been Mike Hargrove singles. So the lefty-lefty thing hasn't been bothering him. Hargrove will not be held. No danger to run. And here's Toby Hara. 2-9 for Hara is a fly to right. Reggie Smith makes the play. 2 down, and here's Willie Horton. 4-4 against Tommy John is a fly ball center field X. That's Rick Monday. He's a 2-3. 2 and a 4. That could be interesting. 2 and a 4. Will he get to that? A 2 and a 4 he does. It's an F1. So 2 and a 4 he gets to that. So that's 7, and he is an E3 for a center fielder. 7 is no problem whatsoever. So Rick Monday tracks that down. And that's going to do it for the Rangers. Horton thought he had something going there, but Rick Monday had other ideas. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Still Nothing but goose eggs. Here's Reggie Smith. 6-4. That's a ballpark single check. For the first time, we're going to be using the ballpark effects, but Dodger Stadium, it's only a 1. So he's got a 5% chance of getting that hit. And he got it. Good grief. How many times does the D20 do that? I rolled a 20 the other time when that was the only result that worked, and now I roll a 1 when it's the only time the result works. So Reggie Smith will take it. He will be held. He will not try to go anywhere. Here's Ron Say hitting to a double play his last time up. 3-5, and he's going to strike out this time. So Ron Say has had a rough series so far. He had a really nice NLCS, but he's been struggling in the series. Here's Garvey, nothing on the 20. 3-3 for Garvey. That's a ground ball pitcher B, so it's a fielder's choice, 1-4. And Garvey will be the new runner at first base. He will be held, but he won't go anywhere. For Dusty Baker, who also singled his first time up, that's a 1. Wild pitch rating on Doyle Alexander is a 2. No wild pitch. We go to Baker to finish out the inning. 5-11. Ground ball first base X, that is Hargrove. Hargrove's a 3E13. 3 and a 4 could be interesting. 3 and a 4 for a first baseman. 3 and a 4 is SI1, so it's going to sneak through for a base hit. That's a 9. He's an E13. There is no 9, but it will be a single. 1 star. And that'll put runners at first and second with 2 down for Rick Monday. Nothing on the 20. Here's Monday. He has an excellent column 3. But he found column 1. 1-3 is a single, but it's a ballpark single, which means it's only a chance for a 1. So again, a 5% chance. And a 2, he just missed it. So he lines it 2 bump wills to end the inning. And after 4 complete are in the books, we still have not had anything decided. It is zip to zip. And Tommy John back out. Be facing bottom of the order, May, Sundberg, and Beniquez. Start the 5th. May line to Lopes his first chance. 2-5, and this time he's going to strike out. 1 away. That brings up Sundberg. 2-8 rather. 2-8 against the lefty. He's going to line it right to Ron Say for out number 2. That takes us to Beniquez. Beniquez would like to get on so they can have Alexander bat this inning and not lead off the 6th. 6-9, and he'll do it. It's a single for Juan Beniquez, and he's definitely not going to run because you don't have to take a chance of him getting thrown out with a pitcher up there. So here's Doyle Alexander. He will be held, but he's not going to run. A 1, chance for a wild pitch. That's a 6 on Tommy John. No wild pitch. Here is Alexander. 5-7. Ground ball second base X. Now he is being held, so that's going to make Lopes turn Lopes into a 4 E19. Because Lopes is responsible. That's a 1. You know what? It's going to be a base hit for Doyle Alexander. He almost got it off the pitcher card last time. He gets it off the pitcher card again because of the second base X ground ball. 4 and a 1 is going to be a single 2 stars. And that'll put Beniquez over to third base. Now we're checking to see if there's an error. He's an E19. And we have an 8. Second baseman E19. There is no 8, but it is going to be runners at the corners with 2 outs. So how about that? Doyle Alexander keeps it going. And now Bert Campaneris steps to the plate. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. Campaneris, nothing on the 20. 5-4, that's a catcher X. Yeager is up, so he's got to make sure there's no pass ball or anything. Yeager is a 1 E8. 1 and a 17 is no problem whatsoever. 1 and a 17 is actually a little dribbler in front of the plate. Checking the error, that's a 13. He's an E8. E8, and there's no 13, so it's an easy 2-3 grounder to end the inning, and Tommy John pitches around that mess. We now go to the bottom of the 5th. Doyle Alexander, how about his hitting prowess there? Almost to hit his first time up, and he did single his second time up. He'll be facing Yeager, John, and Davey Lopes. 3-8 for Yeager. Ground ball to short. That's going to be handled by Campaneris. One away. Tommy John steps in. 1-8 for John. Struck him out. 2 down. And that's going to send us to Davey Lopes with 2 outs and the bases clear. Whoops, that one shot the coop, so I'm going to redo everything. 1-7 to fly to center. That's going to end the inning. Sometimes even on this, the dice tray top is still, I thought it's pretty high. I mean, it's like 2 dice, not quite. It's a little over a dice high or a die high, but when it comes bouncing around, it can sometimes jump the chute there. So consider that the foul ball and just redo, which is what happened. So we go to the 6th, still nothing but goose eggs here on the scoreboard at Dodger Stadium. Bump Wills, top of the order. Well, actually, he's the second man in the batting order, but he's leading off. He's used to leading off. He's up there against Tommy John, 5-3. It's a fly ball right field X. That is Reggie Smith. Smith is a 2 E6. 218, he'll get to that. E6 and a 10 should be no issue whatsoever. E6 and a 10 is not a problem, so Reggie Smith puts that one away. 1 down for Mike Hargrove, who is 2 for 2 against Tommy John. A couple of singles, despite the lefty on lefty. 6-3, ground ball pitcher X. Tommy John's a 2E7. 2E7. 2 and a 9, he'll get to that. E7 and a 5 is a rare play. So let's see what the 2 is. 2 and the 9. 2 and a 9 for a pitcher is a G3. So a G3 rare play. Let's see what that shows. Batter lines a shot that hits the mound and flex to the fielder who makes the play for the first. But doesn't really matter. I'm just going to call it a 1-3 ground out. Nothing really rare about that. Doesn't really matter. I'm not keeping fielding stats, so it really is irrelevant. 2 down, bases clear for Toby Hara. 4-10, and I got a lot of stuff here in column 4 against Tommy John, but 4-10 is a fly to Reggie Smith to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 6th, and with Willie Horton due up to lead off the 7th, he's going to probably be replaced for a defensive replacement after he hits in the 7th. Most likely, we shall see. Could be part of a double switch. You never know. Trying to think ahead. Here's Bill Russell against Alexander, and this is Alexander's point of weakness inning. 4-10. Catcher X again. That's Sundberg. He's a 1, and he's also an E2. E2 and a 14 for a catcher. I don't think that's an issue. It is not. And he's a 1 and a 4. That is a W/G, which is a squibber in front of the plate, so it's a 2-3 ground out. Sundberg over to Hargrove, 1 away. Here's Reggie Smith. Somebody's got to go long here to get a run on the board, it seems like. 2-8 is a single, so Reggie Smith reached base all 3 times. He's walked and singled twice. He's a C stealer, so he will be held, but he won't try to go anywhere because 13's the best he's going to get, and then you got Sundberg's a -4, so that'd be a -6 total. So 1 to 7 would be the best he could do. So certainly no sense in doing anything with that. Here's Ron Say, nothing on the 20. Say 3-4, struck him out. Boy, he continues to struggle. They may have to move him out of that cleanup spot. Maybe move him down the order and see if that helps him. Maybe move Baker up. Here's Garvey. 1, chance for a wild pitch, which is a 2. And there's no wild pitch, so here's Garvey. 1-7 for Garvey. Oh, 1-8 would have been a 2-run homer, but a 1-7 is a strikeout. So he went for the downs, but didn't get it. And we're through 6 here in Los Angeles, City of the Angels, and we are tied with no score. Now this is the point of weakness inning for Tommy John coming up, and Willie Horton the batter. 6-12, ground ball first base X. That's Garvey. He's a 1. We know he's going to get to it. He's an E8. E8 and an 11. E8 with an 11. First baseman E8. There is no 11. So it is a good play as he makes that play. Oh, we got the wrong cards in the wrong order here, don't I? Got some guys out of order. I forgot Dave May and Jim Sundberg. They have to bat. Somehow the pitcher card got out of order there. I don't know how that happened. Good thing it's all lined up on the score sheet. Here's Dave May. 4-7. Ground ball to second. That's 2 down. And that'll take us to Sundberg. 4-7 again. This time against a right-hander. Struck him out. So Tommy John has been dealing zeros along with Doyle Alexander. So Sundberg is retired. And now Alexander coming out. Now the question is, do they replace the left fielder, Willie Horton, as we're getting later into the game? Again, 5-3 is the only left fielder X-check, so they may go ahead and leave him in there. And I think they will. They'll take that chance. So here's Dusty Baker. Now watch me roll a 5-3. Sure as day. 6-11. Ballpark single, which is only a 1. And that's going to be a liner to short. 1 away for Rick Monday. 1-11, and that's a 1-8 single. 9-20, he lines it right to bump Wills. And Wills will snag it. So 2 straight lineouts. 2 down for Yeager. 5-6. Pops him up. Handled by Campaneris. Innings over. So we go to the 8th. Still no score. And Tommy John is out. And he will be facing Beniquez, Alexander, and Campaneris. Boy, you hate to take Alexander out the way he's been pitching. Plus, he's already had a hit. So I think you're going to leave. When you got dueling shutouts, I don't want to mess with the pitchers. Here's Beniquez. 3-7. Fly to center, 1 away. And the way the other offensive players have been going, just as good a chance maybe for Alexander to get hit as anybody else. And he found the pitcher card again, 4-10. But he missed it. A lot of hits in column 4 against Tommy John, but he found that fly to right field. So 2 down. 2 down, and now the order flips over for Bert Campaneris. If he can get on, he can steal. 2-10, and he did get on. 1-6 is a double. 7-20 is a single. That's a single, so you know he's looking to run. That's almost a given. And he's either going to get picked off or he's going to get the jump. I mean, because every number here is covered. If he gets the jump, it's a 15, and the combination of Yeager and John is a -4, which drops him to an 11. And being held drops him to a 9. So maybe he doesn't go. I don't know. That would be awful tough. 1-9 is not very good odds. So you know what? They're not going to send him. They're not going to send him. They will hold him, but they will not send him. Here's Bump Wills. 6-7. 1-19 is a single. Anything else? Ground ball to Ron Say. And it's a single, 1 star, so that puts runners at first and second. Runners are at first and second with 2 down for Mike Hargrove. And Hargrove's already gotten 2 hits off of Tommy John, lefty on lefty matchup. Nothing there. Here's TJ to Hargrove. 6-5, struck him out, and Tommy John pitches out of it. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Still no score here at Dodger Stadium. Now, Tommy John is set to lead off this inning, and he is getting close to his point of weakness, so this might be a twofold thing where you take him out. I think they're going to go ahead and lift him because he's already had 2 knocks against his point of weakness. He's allowed 4, and they do have pretty decent bullpen with Charlie Huff and company. They have right-handers coming up. Tough decision. I hate to take a guy out that's pitching a shutout, though. That's the hard thing. If the guy's pitching a shutout, I'd hate to take him out, but we really need some offense, too, from one of these teams. So Lasorda mulling it over and finally has pulled the trigger. He's going to send up Vic Davalillo to pinch hit. So Vic Davalillo is on to pinch hit, and he shakes the hand of Tommy John for 8 wonderful innings of shutout baseball. And let's see what he did as far as hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He scattered 6 singles, and he did not walk anyone. Striking out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Struck out 5. So excellent line for Tommy John, but now they need runs. And Tommy John was reaching his point of weakness anyway. So Vic Davalillo will lead it off against Alexander. Now Alexander, since reaching his point of weakness, has only given up a single, so he's good to go until he gets, unless he gets into trouble. And if he does, left-hander Darryl Knowles is loosening in the bullpen. Here's Davalillo. 6-7. That's a leadoff walk. 6-7 is a leadoff walk. And Tommy John bats right-handed, so had he been pitching, or had he how we let him hit, he would have flown to center. So by using Davalillo, they get the base runner with the leadoff walk. And leadoff walks can really come back to bite you. Now, Davalillo, do we have a pinch runner for Davalillo to try to steal? That's another issue. I believe, let's see. We're going to have Glenn Burke come in, and Glenn Burke's going to pinch run, and Glenn Burke's going to try to get a jump to steal, because they got to make something happen. So Glenn Burke is the pinch runner. He's in there to pinch run. He gets a jump from 2 through 7, so see what he can do. 6, he gets the jump, so he's going to attempt to steal. He's a 17, minus 4 from Sundberg makes him a 13, minus 2 for being held makes him 11. Still better than 50-50 chance. 1 through 11, he'll steal it. 12, he's caught stealing. Wow. Caught stealing. 2-4. So that strategy by Lasorda did not work. It blew up right in his face. But sometimes you got to, desperate times call for desperate measures. You got to do something to jumpstart the offense. Here's Davey Lopes. 1-5. That's a 1-14 single. Anything else he lines to short. And that's a base hit for Davey Lopes, so he's going to be trying to run. He's got a little bit better chance than what Glenn Burke had by 2 numbers. But he needs a 4, 5, or 6 to get the jump. 5, he gets the jump, so it'll be a 19 minus the 4 from Sundberg is a 15 minus 2 from being held is a 13. So this time a 1-13, he'll steal it. And he does, and it's a 3, so it's a possible throwing error on Sundberg. His T rating is a 5. But no throwing error, but it will be a stolen base for Lopes as he gets into scoring position with 1 out for Bill Russell. And we're going to have a pinch hitter for Bill Russell. Bill Russell he's a solid player, but they need some offense. So they are going to their left-handed hitter, backup catcher Johnny Oates, is going to pinch hit for Bill Russell. He will pinch hit, and then the new shortstop in the top of the 9th will be Ted Martinez. So Ted Martinez, that's why he's on the roster. Like I said, in real life it was Rafael Landistoi, but in our case it's Ted Martinez. But Johnny Oates is going to pinch hit here against Doyle Alexander. First base is open, but then you got Reggie Smith and Ron Say, so I don't think you want to deal with them. Alexander, 1 more base runner, and he reaches his point of weakness, so you got to be careful about that as well. Lopes held at second. Nothing going on there. Here's Oates. 6-4. That's a ballpark single check, which again is only a 1. Otherwise, he lines to second. And as a liner right to bump wheels for out number 2. Lopes gets back, but the pinch hitting fails. And now it's up to Reggie Smith. Now they could walk Reggie Smith because he's gotten on base every time, and Ron Say has struggled. So they're going to give the intentional pass to Reggie Smith, and that's going to put Ron Say up there with 2 on and 2 outs. So Ron Say a chance to redeem himself. Chance to redeem himself against Doyle Alexander. Nothing on the 20. 1-5, and he does. 1 is a triple, 2 through 20 is a single. 2 stars that'll score a run. And it's a single for Ron Say. So the strategy fails. The intentional walk fails to Reggie Smith. because Ronsay comes through with a base hit. And that's going to be it for Doyle Alexander. I think he has reached his point of weakness. He has reached that point of weakness time. So I believe we're going to have a new pitcher. And let's see who they're going to bring in. They had Daryl Knowles, but then you've got the right-hander Garvey coming up. So you might rather have a right-hander, and they're going to have Len Barker. So Len Barker is going to come on and pitch for Alexander. Len Barker. And let's do the numbers on Alexander. He goes 7 2/3. Really nice outing for him. 7 2/3, 1 run so far. He's walked 2. He's walked 3 rather. 1 was intentional out of those 3. He struck out not very many. 1, 2, 3, 4. Struck out 4. And hits allowed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hits. Like I said, don't know about the runs. 1 so far, but he's also responsible for both runners on base. So Steve Garvey will be facing Len Barker. Ronsay will not be held at first. Nothing on the 20. Here's Garvey. 3-5 for Garvey. Ground ball to third. That's going to end the inning. So Len Barker does what he needed to do, and that closes the book on Alexander for 1 run. So we go to the top of the 9th with a 1-0 game. But the Rangers are very happy to have Tommy John no longer in there. So since he was pinch hit for. And now we will get a new pitcher, and it will be Charlie Huff, the knuckleballer, their closer. He'll be on to face Toby Harrah, Willie Horton, and Dave May, although they could pinch hit for Horton with Claudell Washington if they choose. Although Horton's certainly not a bad hitter at all. So I think you're almost better to stay with Horton, actually. So it's going to be the knuckleballer, Charlie Huff. He will be on to face Harrah, Horton, and May here in the top of the 9th. 1-0 Dodgers. As they manufactured a run thanks to the Davey Lopes single stolen base and then the Ronsay 2-out single. Here's Toby Harrah to start the 9th against the knuckleballer, Charlie Huff. 4-4, ground ball shortstop X. That's Bill. I'm sorry, it's not Bill Russell. I almost didn't make that. I forgot to write that change on the score sheet. It's actually Ted Martinez. And as what generally happens when you make a defensive change, the ball finds you. Ted Martinez at shortstop is a 3 E17. So range not as good, but the error rating is lower, and a 15 runner. All right, so Ted Martinez is a 3 E17. 3 and a 10, he'll get to that. E17 and a 10 is no problema whatsoever. 3 and a 10 is a G2. Not a problem. Ted Martinez makes the play. Toby Harrah is gone. 1 down. Here's Willie Horton. And Horton has struggled. He's 0 for 3. Like I said, you could bring in Claudell Washington. But if Horton finds his column 1, it could be really, really good. But I think you're going to play the percentages. They're going to play the percentages and bring in Claudell Washington to pinch hit. Might be a mistake, but Billy Hunter says, I'm playing the percentages. So Claudell, basically we're gambling that we're going to roll a column 3 versus a column 1 because column 1, Horton has a huge advantage in column 1, but Claudell has the advantage in column 3. So it just depends on what you think is going to come up more. But we're playing the percentages lefty-righty, see what happens. Charlie Huff facing Claudell. 2-2, so it didn't matter. Ground ball to short, that's 2 down. Willie Horton on a 2-2. Would have had a ballpark home run chance 1-10. Ha! Go figure. Well, that's Billy Hunter's bad managing. And that would have been a home run. So there you go. There's my bad managing for you, a la Billy Hunter. So tried to make a slick pinch hitting move, and it cost me. Or not cost me. I don't really care. It cost the Rangers. But I do want to be fair. I just thought that was the fairest thing to do, was to bring in the lefty. Well, Dave May still has a chance. He's got a loaded column 3. See if he can get a column 3. He does. 3-7. But 3-7 is only a fly to center. And that's going to do it. Rangers lose it 1-0. And like I said, the bad managing there at the end cost them, because that would have been a home run on the ballpark meter. But as it was, the Dodgers win it in a tight one, 1-0. Can't get much tighter than that. Tough luck loser, Doyle Alexander. Winning pitcher was Tommy John. Charlie Huff, a 1-2-3 ninth to get the save. We'll do the totals. Error on the shortstop Campaneris to start the bottom of the first was the only error of the game. 1-0 for the Dodgers, and the hits, 6 hits for the Dodgers and 6 hits for the Rangers. So there's your total for the game. Los Angeles, 1 run, 6 hits, no errors. Texas, no run, 6 hits, and 1 error, and 1 possible snafu by pinch hitting for Willie Horton with Claudell Washington. Potentially cost them a home run that would have tied the game, but hindsight's always 20/20, as they say. So the Dodgers take a 2-1 lead, and now the pressure's really on Texas to not fall behind 3-1 in Game 4, and they're going to be a definite disadvantage because you've got Doc Ellis, the number 4 pitcher, against Don Sutton, the number 2 pitcher for the Dodgers. But conversely, after that, they will be able to come back with their other starters, Blyleven and Gaylord Perry. So I guess even if they fall behind 3-2, or 3-1 rather, they can have the 2 best pitchers going in the following games. So it'll be interesting. The fact that the NLCS went longer kind of took both took the Dodgers out of their normal routine. So we don't have number 1 pitchers against number 1 pitchers. We've got number 1 pitchers against number 4 pitchers. But that's just the way it goes, and you got to play it as it lies. So, and then this was a example possibly where Ken Henderson may have come into play against the left-hander Tommy John. He may have gotten some. He may be able to play right field instead of Dave May. It might have gotten some hits, but he was injured. So what are you going to do about it? All right. So Game 3 is in the books. A very rare 1-0 ball game here in Los Angeles. The Dodgers win it. Tommy Lasorda can sleep good tonight. 2-1 lead. And Game 4, it'll be Don Sutton against Doc Ellis. I don't know if Doc will be using any controlled substances or not, but we'll find out. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.